Inside each of us is a storyteller, the ego, constantly narrating who we are, shaping our sense of self from the moment we wake up. It's that inner voice that comments on our actions, judges our choices, and even compares us to others. The ego is always busy, weaving a story about our place in the world, and it can be so convincing that we rarely question its version of reality. But the truth is, the ego's story isn't always accurate. It often distorts facts, exaggerates flaws, and clings to old wounds, making us doubt ourselves or others. The ego is the mask we wear, built from years of experiences, beliefs, and labels. It's shaped by what we've been told, what we've achieved, and even by the roles we play for others. Over time, these layers become so familiar that we start to believe they are who we truly are. The ego clings to achievements and possessions as proof of our worth, measuring success by what we own or how we're seen. It's always searching for something to validate its story, be it praise, status, or recognition. And it's the source of both our pride and our deepest fears. The ego celebrates when we succeed, but it also panics at the thought of failure or rejection. It's always on guard, trying to protect the image it's created. The ego is obsessed with control, managing outcomes, controlling how others see us, and avoiding discomfort at all costs. It wants to be liked, respected, and never embarrassed, so it's always strategizing, always on alert. It's fragile, always seeking validation, and quick to defend its story. Even the smallest criticism can feel like a threat, and the ego will rush to justify, argue, or withdraw to protect itself. When someone cuts you off in traffic and you feel personally offended, that's the ego at work, turning a random event into a personal slight, fueling anger and frustration. The ego fuses our ideas and identity, making criticism feel like a personal attack. It can't separate feedback from self-worth, so it reacts defensively, sometimes even lashing out or shutting down. This attachment is exhausting, as we constantly protect a fragile sense of self. The effort to maintain the ego's story can leave us feeling drained, anxious, and disconnected from our true selves. But the ego is just a character in your story. You are the author. You have the power to question its narrative, to rewrite the script, and to choose a different perspective. By observing this inner storyteller, we can stop letting it run the show. We can notice its patterns, its fears, and its habits, and gently step back from its grip. The first step is recognizing the ego's voice and seeing it for what it is, a collection of thoughts, not the truth of who you are. With practice, you can learn to respond rather than react, to listen rather than defend. With awareness, we can begin to loosen its grip, finding freedom in the space between the ego's story and our true self. This is where real growth begins. The ego isn't a villain. It's a bodyguard, created to protect us from pain. It learned rules from childhood hurts, building walls to keep us safe from shame and rejection. But these protective strategies are outdated. What once shielded us now keeps us isolated and anxious. The ego's need for control and perfection is rooted in fear, not reality. It means well, but its methods are clumsy and often backfire. Recognizing the ego's protective instinct helps us have compassion for ourselves. The goal isn't to destroy the ego, but to update its methods and guide it with awareness. Compassion for the ego is the first step toward healing. Once you know what to look for, the ego's patterns become obvious. It shows up as pride, boasting, or feeling superior, or as insecurity and constant comparison. The ego measures your worth against others, trapping you in a cycle of striving and self-criticism. It insists on being right, turning disagreements into battles to protect its identity. The ego takes things personally, interpreting neutral events as personal slights. It creates a world where you're always the center and often the victim. These reactions, defensiveness, blame, shutting down, signal the ego feels threatened. Spotting these patterns is the first step to choosing a different response. Awareness gives you the power to break free. Inside each of us, there are two distinct voices that shape our thoughts and actions: the ego and the true self. These voices are always present, quietly influencing the way we see ourselves and the world around us. The ego is loud, demanding, and often driven by fear. It thrives on judgment, comparison, and the illusion of separation from others. It's the voice that shouts when we feel threatened or insecure, pushing us to defend ourselves or prove our worth. The ego lives in the past and the future, rarely allowing us to be present. It replays old wounds, anticipates problems, and feeds on drama, keeping us stuck in cycles of worry and regret. In contrast, the true self is gentle and calm, rooted in love, acceptance, and a deep sense of connection. It speaks quietly, guiding us toward compassion, understanding, and inner peace. The true self doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. It knows that we are already whole, just as we are, and that our value isn't determined by external achievements or validation. When we're criticized, the ego reacts with defensiveness or anger, seeing feedback as a threat. But the true self listens openly, recognizing feedback as an opportunity to learn, grow, and become wiser. The ego constantly seeks to gain, to compete, and to come out on top. It believes that resources are limited and that we must fight for our share, leading to feelings of envy and dissatisfaction. The true self, on the other hand, seeks to give and to share. It understands that love, kindness, and peace are infinite, and that by giving, we actually receive even more in return. The ego always asks, "What can I get from this situation?" It's focused on personal gain. But the true self gently asks, "What can I offer?" Shifting our focus to generosity and service. The journey of self-awareness is about learning to quiet the ego's noise so we can truly hear the wisdom of our true self. It's about choosing which voice to trust at every crossroads. With patience and practice, you can become more aware of these voices and consciously choose which one to follow in each moment. The more you listen to your true self, the more peace, clarity, and fulfillment you'll discover in your life. It's a journey worth taking, one gentle step at a time. This is the heart of self-awareness, recognizing the two voices within and choosing again and again to follow the one that leads you home to yourself. The ego isn't evil. It's a tool that once helped us survive. Trying to destroy the ego only creates more inner conflict. The goal is not elimination, but integration, becoming the rider, not the horse. Problems arise when we identify with the ego, believing we are our thoughts and titles. This leads to constant anxiety and reactivity. The ego is useful when guided by awareness, but destructive when left unchecked. Instead of fighting the ego, see it with compassion and update its programming. Shift from being unconsciously driven by the ego to consciously observing it. In that space of observation, you find freedom and authentic choice. The ego becomes a servant, not a master. When the ego is in control, life feels anxious and reactive. We chase external validation, basing our worth on others' opinions and achievements. Relationships suffer as the ego turns connection into competition and arguments. The ego fears vulnerability, stifling intimacy and growth. It keeps you stuck in comfort zones, afraid to risk failure or look foolish. But when you observe the ego, you reclaim the driver's seat. You can listen to its fears without obeying them, choosing wisdom over reactivity. This shift transforms you from a victim of circumstance to a creator of your experience. Awareness is the key to taking back control. Taming the ego is about softening, not fighting. Start with awareness. Notice the ego's voice without judgment. Practice humility by listening more and thinking of yourself less. Cultivate gratitude to shift focus from lack to abundance. Forgive others and yourself. Holding on to grievances only strengthens the ego. Let go of the need to be right. Choose peace over winning arguments. Trust a higher power or the flow of life. Surrendering control brings deep relief. These practices create space between you and the ego's reactions. Each small act of awareness weakens the ego's grip. Over time, you'll find more peace, connection, and freedom. Remember, it's a gentle, ongoing process. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. Inner peace grows with every conscious choice. Ego-driven reactions happen fast, so we need a quick tool to interrupt them. Ask yourself, am I responding from love or from fear? Fear fuels the ego. Defensiveness, anger, control, and judgment all stem from it. Love is the language of the true self, compassion, patience, and connection. A loving response opens you up. A fearful one closes you off. In tough moments, pause, breathe, and ask this question. If you're reacting from fear, try to shift just a little closer to love. Sometimes, love means simply pausing or asking for time to reflect. This question is a compass, guiding you back to your true self. Use it often to return to peace. Many spiritual traditions describe the struggle between ego and true self. In Christianity, it's the conflict between flesh and spirit, ego versus divine nature. The ego pulls us toward pride and conflict. The spirit draws us to love and peace. The spiritual journey is about choosing the spirit over the ego, again and again. Surrender is key, letting the true self guide, not the ego. This isn't self-annihilation, but a reordering of priorities. With divine help, we align more with love and less with ego. The journey is sacred, a return to our true nature. True peace isn't found in winning or controlling, it's found in surrender. When we let go of the need to always be right, to always have the last word, or to shape every outcome, we open ourselves to a deeper sense of calm. Surrender is not about giving up, but about giving in to the flow of life, trusting that things will unfold as they are meant to. The ego chases validation, but peace is an inside job. It's easy to get caught up in what others think, to seek approval or recognition, but lasting peace comes from within. It's about finding contentment in who you are, not in what you achieve or how you're seen. This path takes courage. Courage to notice your ego, to sit with discomfort, and to choose awareness over reaction. Growth happens in those quiet moments when you pause, breathe, and allow yourself to feel, even when it's hard. Don't fight the ego. Just notice it and ask, am I coming from love or fear? This simple question can shift your entire perspective, helping you respond with compassion instead of defensiveness. Every loving choice weakens the ego's grip and strengthens your true self. Each time you choose kindness, patience, or understanding, you build a foundation of inner peace that no external circumstance can shake. Let's end with a simple prayer. A moment to connect with something greater than ourselves, to invite guidance and clarity into our hearts. Dear God, help me see my ego for what it is. Let me recognize when I'm acting from fear or pride, and remind me to return to love. Grant me wisdom to observe it, strength to choose differently, and peace to respond with love. May I remember that every moment is a new opportunity to begin again, to choose presence over distraction, and love over fear. This journey isn't about perfection, but about returning to presence and peace, again and again. Each day brings new chances to practice, to forgive yourself, and to grow. Embrace the process with patience and compassion. Be gentle with yourself as you learn, knowing that every step forward matters no matter how small. Your peace is waiting. Choose it, moment by moment. In every breath, in every pause, you have the power to return to yourself. The work is lifelong, but it's the most important work you'll ever do. Each day, recommit to your growth, your healing, and your peace. Keep returning to love, to awareness, to your true self. That's where peace lives, and that's where you'll find your greatest strength.